I am Coach Ses, motivated and determined, and you are listening to Words with a Mad Coach. What's going on, Mr. Bullock?
How you doing, sir?
I am doing pretty good. What have you started your day off doing this Sunday morning?
Oh, nothing much. Just getting ready to go to this training session for the day.
It's good, good. Is a Sunday training normal for you guys?
Normally I try to when I'm off. I don't get many Sundays off, so I like to get the extra work in when I can.
I got you. Just so you're fitting it around your life schedule.
Yes, sir.
So what's the main focus of the training? Conditioning, fight training, mental stuff. What's the main focus?
The main stuff, pretty much conditioning, and then focusing on what's my best area to win the fight for the most part.
Gotcha. How long you I guess more importantly is how important is Hayastan to you in this whole process? And not just
Team Hayastan is pretty much like everything for me.
In and out of the gym. In and out of the gym.
Yeah, in and out of the gym. Like before I got there, I was 0-3 and pretty much struggling like to find myself like with anything, just in general. So, I mean, they pretty much looked out for me from day one, the day I walked in the gym. Not just in the gym, but outside as well. Like if I ever needed something, like clothes, help my medicals to get paid, like they've always been there.
So how far does this relationship go back to with Hayastan?
Um, I think 2012.
Gotcha. Where were you before that?
I bounced around pretty much in Charlotte.
So you just played the independent role, huh?
For the most part.
So how did you develop this intense relationship with MMA? I mean, I know I'm basing it on. I look at your Facebook, and I look at a lot of guys' Facebook, and they say, "Oh, I'm the champ. I'm going to do this." Dude, you got it bad, in a good way. In a good way. I mean, you're probably one of the most intense people I've seen about MMA, and it made me curious to ask that question. Where did that come from?
Growing up pretty much, like I was always the fat kid that was bullied by everybody. Like I didn't have any other like outlets for the most part, and my mom put me in karate from a young age, and then I ended up quitting that to just play football and wrestle. And then when I finally graduated high school, it was one of those things like, crap, what am I going to do now? And like, I was pretty much lost without that type of outlet. So my god brother actually took me to my first gym, and I've been doing it ever since.
Nice. Did he fight as well?
No, he just kind of trained for fun, but he kind of knew like I needed something else in my life, and he was like, I'm pretty sure this will be something for you. So he didn't tell me. Like, he didn't tell me where we were going. He was like, "Hey, be ready at this time," and he wouldn't tell me where he was taking me. So
I kind of like that. Who are you? If you're not, let's say there's no MMA. Let's say there's no Hayastan. Who are you?
I'm pretty much a geek and comic book nerd and video game nerd. It's just I work, I enjoy what I enjoy. I have fun with my friends, and that's pretty much it.
That's good. That's good. I noticed that you started off your career, like you said, 0-3, and then you're 4-1 your last 5, and I think that I guess what I want to ask is what turns you around, like not just the physical training, but what snapped, what clicked, what hit you just right.
Having a real team for a change. Having people that actually believed I was better than what I did in my own head, and people that were honest with me. Like, they didn't just say, oh, you're okay, this is what we need to fix. Like, when I first got to Hayastan, they were brutally honest. Like, dude, your striking sucks. Don't ask to ever fight for us until your striking gets better. They was like, your wrestling's okay, your groundwork still needs work, so don't ask to fight until you show some improvement. And I rolled with it. I was like, hey, they know what they're doing. Like, they win their fight. Like, my first Fight Lab event ever was watching Tony Tan win the belt. So I was hooked on their gym for a long time. Like, I followed a lot of their fighters, so I knew that's where I wanted to go eventually. And yeah, so that's what kind of clicked for me, was having that support and honesty and coaches and the team that knew what they were doing. So
I'm glad you brought up Fight Lab, because this is going to be your fourth Fight Lab event and your opponent's first. Do you think you have an advantage going in, just having that experience? I try to tell a lot of people that, I've gone to a lot of shows, and that Charlotte crowd's a little bit different than most of them, man. You got to be ready for that thing when you go in, man. You don't realize it until you're at the cage and you start realizing that it's hostile territory. But at the same time, they're really fight fans, and they like who they like, and they will turn on the hometown guy if he doesn't perform. But I'm just saying that Charlotte crowd is something different, almost on the level of a UFC or a Bellator crowd. So do you think you have an advantage going in, being a 4-time veteran at this point?
I don't, simply because my first 3 trips to Fight Lab, I was that guy that nobody liked anyway. So, I mean, I've been on both sides of it, and even now, most of the people that are there for me are still my Hayastan family. So, I mean, it's nice to have, to hear the support and whatnot, but honestly, if they're outside of Hayastan and they boo, I could care less. Like, I know where my support is. I know who's there for me, so doesn't make me, never mind.
Where are you originally from? Are you indigenous of the area? Do you have family in the Charlotte area?
I don't. I'm originally from Tarboro, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Rocky Mountain area.
Well, I'm a Rocky Mountain boy myself. That's good. That's good. So what got you out this way? What brought you out to the Charlotte area?
School. I went to school at Johnson and Wales, so that was how I ended up here in Charlotte, and just kind of never left once I found MMA and how big the MMA scene is here in Charlotte. Like, once I realized actually how big it was, and I found Hayastan, I just never left.
Good. Hey, I know a lot of teams do a lot of cross training, and they have a lot of coaches inside every gym. Who do you consider, are your main coaches right now, regardless of where you train? Who are your main coaches?
My main coaches right now are still within my gym. Tony Tan, Kevin Ferrant, Tom Ziegler, and then on the occasion, like most part, it'll be Keith Richardson too. I get a lot of little tidbits and tips from him as well, and all of my friends at Modern Warrior as well. So
that's good. That's good. So your opponent is 3-0. He has 3 finishes in 2017. You're 2-0 with 2 decisions in 2017. He seems a little bit eager to keep that ball rolling. Are you doing anything different than you normally do to prepare for this fight?
No, sir, not really. I do what I do. It's not a secret to what I do, but you still got to stop it. I really care less what you think you're going to do, what you're going to try to do. I know me. I know where I've come from and how far I've come, so good luck stopping it. That's how I feel.
I think that was a shot at me, right?
Not at all.
No,
they have to literally put that mentality in my head, because I used to freak myself out all the time, and I study people too much, and I'd be terrified and scared. And if I was like, dude, do what you do.
When you fought Ace Hill, I told Ace, I said, do not kick him. I said, if you have to kick, set it up with your hands first. First thing he does is that inside kick. You catch that leg, and it's 15 minutes of problems right there. I was so pissed. I was like, oh, man. So because we're already working backwards now. We're already working from behind. Do you have a wrestling background?
I do. I was actually terrified of Ace when it first got announced because I know Team Rock, I know you guys, and like I've never really wanted to deal with y'all. I was terrified. I was scared. I was scared as all get out to fight Ace, to be honest with you. And I've watched enough of your fighters to where I knew that leg kick was coming first, and I just waited on it. Honestly.
I said, man, why would he throw that kick after we probably spent 2 hours in that dressing room. Don't throw the kick. Don't throw the kick. Don't throw the kick. But that was a good show. Fight Lab 57 was pretty awesome, and you and Ace helped put on a real good event. So all those people that were screaming, "Taco, taco, taco," you want to talk about intimidating? I was a little bothered by that myself. Who are those people? Are they not family? That's just Hayastan people.
The majority of it is just Hayastan, and then I've met a lot of people from my jobs that once they found me on Facebook and saw what I do, they're like, "Oh, we want to definitely come support you," and I was like, "Okay, that's cool."
That is pretty cool. I think you've come a long way, like you said, from the 0-3 guy, and you're a different person. I took some notes, and I noticed that. So I'm a big believer in past performance, and that past performance is a strong indicator of future results. And I noticed that your five of the past opponents that you faced have been in about 10 championship fights, and 7 of them have won titles, or they've won titles 7 times. I also saw a quote on your Facebook that dates back to April 2015 that concludes with the phrase, 35 will be mine. Do you think that this title opportunity is some type of prophetic meaning in terms of that journey?
If you only knew how much I've given up for this point, like to get to this point, and like the gutter I had to literally crawl back out of, man, this is pretty much everything for me at this present moment. Um, I know I had a 2-year disappearance just dealing with a whole lot of personal crap, and I didn't even think I'd ever fight again, to be honest with you. So to get back to this point, it's everything to me right now.
Wow. Wow. I thought that was pretty awesome when I saw that quote. And then you got this fight, and it's your first title, right? It's your first title run? First
Yes,
title
sir.
fight? That is, to me, that's special. That first one's always going to be special. And I know what they say about, you got to defend it and all that, but there's something special about just getting one, being considered for one. And you've been in the game 6 years, and here your opponent is just 1 year walking in. And we've seen it like that. We've seen guys get opportunities sooner than some guys who've been out there busting their butts. And you fought some really good guys. I was impressed by who you fought. Where did the name Taco come from?
Oh man, that came. I was in elementary, middle school with when I got that name from my friends, and my like little league football coaches actually dubbed that name for me. So um, yeah, it got on the subject of like I'm being mixed and like the I guess Hispanic food and whatnot, and they always equated like me being like Taco Bell, and they just kind of took off the bell and left the taco, and that's where it came from.
I got it. I got it. That is too funny. Um, any other talents? I know you've mentioned sports, but any other talents outside of MMA?
Um, I don't think so, but pretty much all my friends and family like want me to cook all the time simply because that's what I went to school for.
Nice.
Everybody like, "Oh, cook me a meal, cook me a meal." I'm like, "Hey, I can do it yourself. You'll be fine."
One of the things that I noticed that I liked about your Facebook. So I'm a traditional martial artist. Not just one of these guys that gets into modern mixed martial arts and other modern martial arts. I like people who still do the traditional route of using different color belts um, and slow cooking a student to the level of mastery. And I noticed that you've been tracking your promotions over the last couple of years, and I really find that impressive. Uh, do you coach now in the gym for any reason, or do anything with kids or teenagers or whatever?
um, I help where needed. So if our coaches, let's say if it's a big spar night for us, or they need a little extra assistance, or one of the coaches has prior engagement with family or whatnot, they do ask a lot of the senior students to step in here and there or help coach the other people here and there as well. So I don't mind it at all. And I'm learning that it helps you refine your own techniques, and you catch yourself doing little things wrong just from having to teach it to someone else. Like, it does help you as well. I'm not good at speaking in front of people, so it's helping me get comfortable actually having to talk out loud in front of people as well. That's a plus.
What's the long term goal in terms of mixed martial arts?
To give back as far as it goes for me. Like, yeah, I would love to, get to that big level and, get the fame and whatnot. But as long as I can give back at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, and I can, keep coaching and training the next generation, that's really all I look to do.
And then beyond the fight days, do you plan on opening up a school, a restaurant, or anything like that?
I'm gonna stay so far away from restaurants, it is not even funny. But I do. I want to stay within the highest end system. Basically, if I can either take over our gym when our coaches get old and withered, or open up a new one somewhere else, this is definitely where I want to stay for years to come.
So I saw a picture. Um, I guess it was a little boy. Is that your son?
It's my nephew.
Your nephew? Somebody important to you, I take it.
Very.
Good, good, good. Is that motivation for you?
It definitely is. Him and a lot of my other younger cousins, they kind of never imagined they have a relative that would do something like this, and now they're all like, "Oh, how? Like, can you help our mom? Let us do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll try, but you kind of still on your own."
That's good that you're now stepping up to be a role model, a symbol, a view of an alternative life. I put it that way. Sometimes we get on a path, and let's say you're in sports. It doesn't always have to be anything negative. Some people always think that way, but let's say you're in sports. Let's say you're basketball, and you're on your way to the NBA, and then you get that one injury that now you can't play ball, but you've got this passion. And let's say now you got one of these cousins that looks back and says, "But my cousin went to this," and that's another avenue in his life. He doesn't have to feel destroyed because he couldn't play basketball. He can say, "Well, my cousin did this, and let me go talk to him." So I'm impressed that you're doing as what you've already said. You're giving back. I'm finding all you guys. I'm hating on you guys in a likable way because you guys are so darn likable. I'm like, stop it. like Avery and Brian, and I'm like, man, y'all just gotta stop it, man. Yeah, I mean, but I learned that from one of my fighters, Ricky Saxton, years ago. Um, he doesn't look at the competition. It's like, I don't know why some teams do anyway, but they look at like we're locked into immortal battle with one another, and this is fight to the end of to all time. And I'm like, it's just competition for 9 minutes or 15 minutes. That's all it is. But you got any comments, shout outs, or anything you want to make to anybody for any reason about anything?
Of course, like always, my team Hayastan, man, they have literally picked me up out the dirt when I didn't have like a dime to my name or any hope or anything. They have been there through my struggle and my journey up until this point. So all of my training partners have helped me get back to this point. I'm trying to bring this home for every person that didn't give up on me when I didn't even think I was going to be back to do this ever again.
Man, that's pretty impressive. All right, brother. I'm not gonna hold you up any longer. I wish you the best at the event, and have a good training session today, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Coach Ses.
Hey, no problem.